So last year I made a video around this time of how I was trying to experiment with hanging swarm traps in different ways. And I showed you how I was doing, I think, a French cleat, and I showed you I did some different crazy strap mechanism. But this actually works really easily. The only problem is trying to balance it all together and hold the box up. So what I have to do is I have to basically get the strap on ahead of time and then put the box up against the tree, brace it with my chest while I try to finagle everything with the strap. So it's a bit cumbersome. What I'd prefer to do would be to just take a small block of wood and screw it into the tree just at the anchor height, just to give me a little bit of support, so that box has something to kind of hang on, and then put the strap on. I think that'll make a world of difference. And then the block, really, once the strap is on the block, is not load bearing. It's just load bearing just long enough to put the strap on. But this is good and tight, really. So all I do is bring the strap around top and bottom, and then it's just squeezing it to the tree, and it can't slide down either, because then now if the strap's all slid too, but that's just not going to happen because of the texture of the bark. So this is working pretty good, and it's got the entrance, you know, about 3.5 feet off the ground, so that should be fine. But I'm just going through down the woods here behind my house. I got permission last year from the homeowner association to hang the traps out, so now I'm actually getting around to doing it this year. Last year I just kind of forgot and got busy, and then I couldn't find a good way that I liked, but this works. This seems to work anyway for now. So this is how I'm going to keep doing them. I've got 3 up. My goal is to get at least a dozen in this little strip. You see a little creek running right through here. It goes on around, so there's not really a good way here across the creek. So I'm probably going to just try to work on down the woods that way towards my house. But there is, you know, quite a bit. This big wedge of woods over here is all abandoned, because you see the creek goes that way and the creek goes this way. These are both inflows, and then it drains out that way. I'd really like to be able to tackle that area of woods, because there's no houses or anything through there, and it's good, a little bit more wild, but it's hard to get to, because I'll just go all the way up the other end of the ditch there to get across walking. I have to go way out and around, but I might actually be able to park my truck in and behind a gas station on the other end and then walk back in that way. I don't know, I'll have to look it up on the map. But anyway, mostly just want to show you how I was hanging those swarm traps, and gosh, she's beautiful. All right, I'm coming, honey. Just want to show y'all how I was hanging those swarm traps and talk a little bit about catching some swarms.